Right, so in for legs. Done the majority of the fluff stuff so far, so 2 sets of toe press, 2 sets of seated calf raise, 2 sets of adductors, well I think I only filmed 1, nothing fancy. For quads, literally just like a low rep set 6 to 8, and then a high rep set 12 to 15, and then just 2 sets of single leg curl there. I've not long trained hamstrings, so today's Saturday. I did hamstrings on Thursday, which isn't ideal, but my hamstrings are still feeling a bit beat up, so I wasn't as enthusiastic with my loading and with my progressions on the single leg curl and the adductor. I've still beat myself from last week, which is good, but only by I think it was like one rep up on the top set single leg curl, and then a plate up on the back off set. So nothing drastic, but progress should be made. And now on to the meat and potatoes of the session. So banded hack, hip press, and then leg extension. The past 3 weeks, Dylan and I have been toying with doing like a fourth movement, because the volume's not high for quads. It's 5 sets, but we always get the feeling at the end of everything after doing quads that we need to do more. So we may do lunge, may do a split squat, and might finish with a back squat. It'll depend on what we feel like doing, but all the bases will be hit. So yeah. So not spoke much because just been training and chatting. So 1 hour set on the hack squat, which is good. I'm definitely feeling my knees getting a lot more battered than normal. So I'm trying to spend more time warming up, specifically on hacks. That's all set. Managed 290 for 10. So 10 kilo up from last week and matched the reps, which is good. And then 270 for 15 on the hip press, and then 285 for 11, which is the set I filmed. Annoyingly, I should have went to 290. I don't know why I didn't. I think I seen what I did last week and just bottled it really. And now we're on to leg extension. So 2 sets, already done 1. Nothing fancy, just 8 to 12 reps. And I'm trying to pause at the top to just batter the shit out of my quads that bit more. And I doubt we're going to do another movement, a fourth movement, because we are both feeling it. But it's been a good session. As I've said before in Instagram posts and YouTube videos, I don't struggle with leg training. I don't struggle specifically training quads. I find it very, very easy to connect to my quads and to get my quads growing. So the way I approach my quads is just pick the most bang for my buck movements and just keep going until I can't. So 1 alt set on the hack, 2 alt sets on the hip press, and then 2 alt sets on the leg extension. All challenging my leg and my quads in different positions. But yeah, nice and simple. Yeah, one more set of this. So, annoyingly, because I didn't film as much as I wanted to when I was doing legs, doing this very, very short update. Anyway, so it was a solid session. Since back training with Dylan, there's not been much adjustments to the session. The one thing I have noticed is my ability to take sets to complete failure, specifically on the hack squat, has drastically gotten better. For no other reason other than just knowing I've got someone there screaming and abusing me to get more reps. Often when I'll be like, right, one more, he'll be like, no, fucking 3 or something like that. So the sets that we are doing are far more intense. He's one of very few training partners I've had that's been very, very similar levels of strength, which does have a great benefit to my training, because when you're significantly stronger than a training partner, not that it's a bad thing, but when you're levels with someone, it allows for there to be some form of competition, which, like, being guys and being fucking filled to the brim on fucking gear does make a difference. But yeah, the session was good. My hip pressing strength is getting better and better and better as the weeks go on. I've noticed that because the movement is so harsh. It's a fantastic leg press. I'm a big fan of the leg press. The Jim Lyko hip press is easily one of the hardest and most unforgiving hip presses I've used, but the movement is somewhat tricky. Like, if my feet are maybe like an inch or half an inch wider or narrower or higher or lower than where they should be, it feels completely off. Whereas like on a hack squat, I'll still be able to move the same weight. I just need to adjust my feet, but I'll still feel my quads. Where on the hip press, if my feet aren't exactly where they should be, I genuinely struggle to move to like do like a third or close to the weight I've been doing. And then along with that, I've been noticing that allowing for some lift at my ass out of the seat is allowing me to get not only better depth, but really load my quads more. So rather than trying to think about pinning my ass down into the seat, I'm thinking about pushing my lower back into the back pad essentially, and then bracing that way. And it's been a big change in my performance in that session. But my quad volume is my leg volume, but specifically my quad volume is easily the lowest it's ever been. And now with I was doing seated leg curl in that session for ages, and then kind of just got sick of doing it because I also do it in my Tuesday session, and I was finding if I seen a big jump in performance on either session, the next session would suck. So like if I seen a big jump on my sets on seated leg curl on, say, my hamstring session, my quad session would then suffer, or vice versa. So swapped it for the single leg curl, and if anyone's trained at Flex Unit, the single leg curl we've got there, it's an unbranded machine, and I couldn't even tell you the weight of each pin. It's got like 1 to, I think it's like 18 or 20, something like that. It's just very, very heavy and very unforgiving. But something I noticed was when I was doing it, for a while my knee wasn't lined up to the basically to the pivot point of the machine. So now I do it while I'm standing on a 10 kilo plate, which kind of just like shunts me up a touch, and that allows for me to drive a lot, not necessarily harder, but better through my heel. So the contraction I get at the hamstring, basically it's like me curl my bicep with my elbow. So yeah, really happy with how that is going. Training's kind of flying at the moment, so leg training is something I don't really struggle with. I do miss squatting. It's probably the longest run I've went not doing any form of free squat or bar squat. So I am trying to figure out where I could add a squat in. Not that it's needed. I miss it. So it's one of those little things that I'm like, oh, could enjoy a bit of squatting again. So speaking to Andy, we'll see. But yeah, solid session.